Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we're using the Stamparatus and we are going to do a Hinge step stamp card with these colours. So we're using Gorgeous Grape, we're using Pacific Point, we're using Granny Apple Green and we're using Calypso Coral. And we are also going to be using some Smoky Slate as well. The stamp set we're using is part of my story. Now this is a celebration stamp set which is free with a purchase of £45. It's very limited. It's only available to the end of this month. So the 31st of March, it's gone. It has some amazing sentiments in there. There's 6 of them and they're ones that you don't normally have in sets, which is why I really like it. Let's get together and giggle. The world needs more people like you. I'm so glad you're part of my story. Here's to those who inspire us and don't even know it. Know that today a friend is thinking of you and you're my chosen family. So lovely sentiments to send to friends and people that you know, and as I say, totally free. So want some sentiments, get this one, but you need to get in there quickly. We are also using Dragonfly Dreams, and we're using this little sort of speckledy bit here as a background. You can use another background stamp, but I thought that this would work perfectly. We're using the Butterfly Gala, and we're going to take this little butterfly here, and we are going to use that as an embellishment on the end of the card. And from the lovely lattice, we are using this tiny little piece down the bottom here. Now again, lovely lattice, beautiful stamp set. I've done some videos on that, totally free, £45 order till the end of this month. You've only got a couple of weeks left, so don't miss out on it because it is a beautiful stamp set. So that's what we're using. Let's get cracking and we'll start. I have done a little bit of preparation to start off with, not a lot. All I've done is put the sentiment that we're choosing for this one, which is know that today a friend is thinking of you. So we're going to use that one and we're going to use it in a rather nice sort of rainbow effect. So the cardstock I'm using is Whisper White. I'm also using it to fit our note cards, or note cards. So I'm lining this up here. The measurements will be down below and over on my blog, so don't panic about it too much. And we're going to use the first colour, which is Gorgeous Grape. And we're going to ink up the image. And we're just going to put it down, press it and pick it up. And you can see it gives such a lovely, 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 lovely colour. Now I just need to use my Simply Chamois. The Simply Chamois is absolutely perfect for the Stamparatus because you can literally just wipe it. You don't get any lint or any other things on it and it cleans the stamp off beautifully. Now I do tend to take a little piece of kitchen roll just to dry it down a little bit because my chamois, I've only just cleaned it, so it is quite can be quite damp. So the second colour we're using is the Pacific Point. So again, just ink up your image and we are then going to hinge step it down once and just stamp it across, and then we're going to clean it off again, just making sure that it's actually just off my my camera on there, but as I say, all I'm doing is just cleaning it off with the Simply Chamois and just giving it a dab down, and then we are going to hinge it down one more step. And we are using the Granny Apple Green, inking it up again, putting it down on there, and then the last one is going to be the Calypso Coral. So my camera area is not big enough to get all of the Stamparatus in. So you'll have to excuse that this little bit is actually off camera, but you can see what we're trying to do here. And I really love the mix of the font on this one. So we're now using the Calypso Coral, and we're going to take that down to the bottom hinge that we want on there, like that. Oh, in fact, we could probably could we get one more in there? Is that going to be? Yes, we could. Oh, okay, right. We need to get one more colour. I thought I'd only fit 4 on this, but I'll actually get 5 on. So, what shall we have as our last colour? Orange through to... We want red, don't we, to make it a little bit more... a little bit more of that rainbow. So bear with me a second while I just get... I think we'll have cherry cobbler, because I quite like cherry cobbler, and I've got a cherry cobbler blend, so that'll work perfectly. So let's just ink that up, and we'll do the last one with red, because I thought rainbow colours would be quite fun today. So just inking this up, and then we can take that down to the bottom of the hinge, put it on, and just press it down. So we've got all the colours that we want in there, and I can just clean that off with my Simply Chamois. There we go. Okay, so that's that part done. Now, what I want to do is I want to put this little tiny line to go in underneath. So I'm going to take the line. Now, you can, once you've set all of this up together, you can actually do the whole lot in one set, but I wanted to show you sort of the process. So you take the hinge off, you turn it round, and then you can put where we want this to go just down the centre in between the two, as even as you can get it, and then pick it up with the other side of the hinge. And then you can have a look. There is lovely grid lines, so you can make sure that it is as even. Look at that, it's pretty even actually. So you can make sure that it's even in between. So that's what we want on there. And we need to go back to, let's go back to the, put them in the right order, and then we can go back and do them in exactly the same order down there. So we're going to take this one, which is the Gorgeous Grape. Ink it up, and then we're going to have this lovely little line that comes down in the middle. Hinge it down, do exactly the same in the blue. The nice thing about the Stamparatus, as you probably all know if you've got the Stamparatus, is that you can do bulk stamps. So if you've got a whole pile of cards that you need to send, if you're doing invitations, whether it's weddings or if you sell your cards, the Stamparatus is absolutely perfect because you can do bulk. And I know that there are a lot of stamp positioning tools on the market, but there aren't very many that do all of the things that the Stamparatus can. It is pretty unique, and it's the only one I bought, so I really can't turn around and compare against the others. But I hung on and I waited because I wanted something that I knew that had been, it was created by stampers for stampers. And that meant that all of the things that all of the people that had been using lots of positioning tools over the years wanted, they were able to go and say, oh, do you think we could have this? Do you think we could have that? And so when this was designed, it was, and I still think it is, the best positioning tool that you can get on the market. I really do. I don't think that there is one out there that does everything that this one does. So it's my favourite because it's the one I use all the time, and it gives you the way of doing all of these different sort of styles and techniques very easily. So, as I say, this is the Calypso Coral. Take it down to the hinge bit that we want down on here. Let's press it down. And again, you don't need much of a press with it. It just works so easily. I'm so super pleased with this. It is, as I say, for somebody who love stamping, it also means that you know that you get everything exactly straight where you want it every single time. I'm hoping that this one is going to be right at the bottom, but it might actually just be a little bit on and a little bit off. We'll have to see. We'll take it down to the bottom and we'll see, is it going to come on or not? Ooh, it's actually going to come off a bit. So I'm not going to put the third one at the bottom. You could do if you'd eased it up a bit, but to be quite honest, I thought I could only get 4 on, so I've got the 5th one, but I'm not going to have the line underneath because I think it will spoil the way everything is set up. So we don't need to. You can see I've got the first stamp, I've got the second stamp on this hinge. I don't need to take those off. I can leave them exactly where they are. And we have another plate. So this plate goes on the top here. And we are going to put the background. So let's move these ones just out of the way for now. Because what I want is the smoky slate now, because I want to do a little bit of a background on here. Now, I've got a scrap of paper because I don't want it to be too dark. I want it to just be a pale background. So let's take the Dragonfly Dreams and this lovely sort of splotchy image, and we're going to put that up at the top like that, right up to the top. Butt it up and then put it down like that. Now, because I'm doing it all in one colour, it doesn't matter how far it comes down. And because I'm doing it up at an angle like this, what I'm going to do is, actually I need to put it on the other side, don't I? Because I'm putting it down. So all I'm going to do is change my plate round. So put this one up there for now. Put this one down on the side because I want it to be a hinge. And let's put this in the centre like that. Pick it up like that. And then, as I say, we're doing it in the smoky slate. But I don't want it too dark. I want it sort of fairly subtle. So what I'm doing is I've got a piece of scrap paper in here. And we are just going to stamp it off once. And then we are going to stamp it down over the top. Okay, so it just gives that little bit of a splotched image. And then we're going to ink it up again. Take our scrap paper, put it down. Stamp it off once and then stamp it down on the image that we want. Take it down again and just repeat the process right the way down to the end. As I say, it is such easy stamping, it really is. If you have dexterity problems as well, it just works beautifully because you're not putting any pressure on your hands with stamping. Let's move the magnet up to the top a little bit. Bring this one down to the next one. Make sure I put my scratch paper in to stamp off once. You might not actually even be able to see this smoky slate on there because it is quite pale. But you could do any colour you want as long as you do it, stamp it off once. But what I wanted to do was to just have a subtle background that wouldn't shout with any of the other colours. And something like smoky slate is absolutely perfect. So that's everything that we need to do with the Stamparatus. So let me just take our card out. Put this back on here like that. And I'm just going to move it out of the way for now. So let's just pop it out of the way so it's not where we want it to be. And now we have our card down like this. So I'm going to get one of our notelets. So let's get one of our notelets like this. And this is, oh, I've done it too big. That's why it fitted on 5. Ignore me. We're not doing it on a notelet. We're going to do it on a standard card for this one. So this is going to be on a, let me see if I've got a standard card base cut, because I think I cut them all in small ones. We'll have to see. Ooh, now this has caught me. So the dimensions of this are going to be 5, and this is 5 1/4 inches by 5 1/4 inches by 3 1/2, and then our mat is going to be, says me, if I've got a piece, I'm going to use something which is just a little bit of a different colour. So hopefully, is that going to work on there? Yes, I'm just going to put it on there. It's a bit bright for what we're looking at, but this is, it's, what is it? It's Berry Burst. So it's quite bright on there, but it'll work. Now what we want to do is, I have taken the butterfly Gala. I've taken the little butterflies from here. And I have coloured each one of them in these colours down here. So we have got the Grapefruit Grove. Grapefruit Grove, I'm always doing that. It is Gorgeous Grape. It's because there's 2 letters. So Gorgeous Grape in light and dark. I've got the Pacific Point, and we're going to put that on that side. I've got Granny Apple Green, and we're going to put that side. And I've got the Calypso Coral on that side. So that's how I would finish it off, because it just stamps out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one that I did before, which is on a notelet. And this one is one of the other sentiments. So this one is Let's Get Together and Giggle. I did it exactly the same way. I put the butterflies up with dimensionals, and again, it gives you that lovely sort of rainbow look for a card. So 2 ways of doing it, on a larger size or a smaller size, but something very simple, using the Stamparatus, using the stamp sets that are free, and using this one, which is part of my story, and the lovely sentiments. You can put whatever sentiment you want, bring it down, put an embellishment on with the butterflies, and you've got a lovely card. So thank you so much for watching me, and do look forward to seeing you again. Bye-bye.